You've done everything right. 8 hours of sleep, the gym, journaling, the mental health walk, the meditation app you downloaded twice. You did the whole thing. And you still feel like something in you is broken. The specific feeling of checking every box and watching nothing shift, like your battery just doesn't charge anymore. You plug in, you lie down, you do all the right things, and you wake up the same amount of empty. And the worst part isn't that it isn't working. It's that you don't even know what working would feel like anymore. You've been managing for so long that you've forgotten there was supposed to be something on the other side of it. Here's what nobody in the wellness industry wants to say out loud. The routine didn't fail because you weren't consistent enough, or didn't try hard enough, or chose the wrong app. It failed because it was built for a different problem than the one you have. Every bath, every walk, every long weekend away, those were designed to get you away from the pressure, not help you exist inside it. So you'd rest, recover, feel briefly human again, and then walk back into the same thing. It's like taking painkillers for a broken bone. The pain goes away for a while. You go back to work. The bone is still broken. Japan builds something different, not a system to recover from hard days. Something older than that, a set of daily practices built on one quiet premise. You don't need less pressure. You need a body and a mind that aren't destroyed by it. None of them will cost you money. None of them require a subscription. And none of them are going to tell you to be grateful. You wake up already behind. Before your feet hit the floor, you're running the list, the thing you didn't finish, the message you have to send. Your breathing is shallow. Your jaw, check right now, is probably already tight. You haven't done anything yet, and your body is already treating today like a threat. The first discipline is opening a window, stepping outside, real air before anything else. Not because it's calming, because your body, after a night of running whatever it was running, needs one signal that the environment actually changed, that yesterday is done, that this is different air. A phone notification does the opposite. It tells your nervous system the same threat from last night is still going. You felt it before without knowing what it was. You step outside, not even for long, just a moment, and something in your chest loosens. Not because you decided to relax. You didn't decide anything. The air just hit your face and your body responded before your brain caught up. It's been doing that your whole life. You just never gave it the chance before coffee, before the phone, before you handed the morning to something else. That's the whole practice. Outside first, everything else second. There's a version of you that exists after 9 p.m. that nobody else sees. The one who reads a text from someone who let them down and lets their face do the thing it would never do in public. Who eats standing at the kitchen counter, not because there isn't a chair, but because sitting down feels like admitting the day is over. Who tells themselves, "I'm fine," one more time, not to convince anyone else, just to see if it holds. That person, the one in the kitchen at 11 p.m. quietly keeping score, that's not your tired self. That's your actual self. Most people hold themselves to two completely different standards, one for everyone watching, one for when the door closes. And somewhere in the gap between those two people, something gets quietly lost. The Japanese call what witnesses that gap Tento-sama, the sun that sees everything, including who you are when no one else does. The discipline isn't guilt. It's a single question. Does the person in the kitchen deserve the same care as the one you show the world? Most people never ask it, which is exactly why they feel split. Your shoulders are up near your ears right now. Not because something just happened, they've been there since this morning. You've been rubbing the same spot on your neck since noon. Not consciously, it just became a background thing. Like the tension stopped being an event and started being furniture. There's a thing you do at the end of the day that you'd probably deny if someone named it. You sit down, and instead of actually stopping, you find something. A video, a scroll, a show you've already seen. Not because you want it, but because being still feels worse than that low hum of input. You tell yourself it's rest because your body is horizontal. but you wake up tomorrow and the tiredness is in a place sleep doesn't reach. That tightness in your lower back, the one you've started thinking is just how your back feels now, you didn't injure anything, you just never put it down. You can't think your way out of tension. You have to move it out. There's a Japanese practice for this, Junon Taiso, slow, full-range movement at the end of the day. Not a workout, not a stretch routine. 10 minutes of your body getting the only signal it actually understands. We're done. The armor you forgot you were wearing, this is how you take it off. The sentence usually starts with, "I'm just someone who," or "I've always been the kind of person who." You've said yours so many times it doesn't feel like a belief anymore. It feels like a fact, like something you confirmed enough times that your body stopped questioning it. The uncomfortable part isn't that you say it, it's that you can't remember when you decided it was true. You've said it today, probably more than once, and you stopped noticing. It just became part of the weather, not something you chose, something that runs. The Japanese had a name for what that's actually doing. Kototama, the spirit of words, not metaphor, function. What you repeat, you rehearse. What you rehearse, your body starts preparing for. The discipline isn't forcing yourself to feel different. It's simpler than that. The next time the sentence starts, catch it. Just once. Ask, do I want to keep sending this? That's the whole practice. One moment of noticing. That's it. You walk through your front door, and before you've even put your bag down, you check your phone, not for anything specific, just to see if something happened that requires you. And when nothing did, there's this tiny weird disappointment, like part of you needed there to be a fire to put out, because at least then you'd know what to do with yourself. You're standing in your own home and your mind is still in the meeting, still on the call that went sideways, still composing the email you should have sent at 3 p.m. Your body crossed the threshold. The rest of you never got the memo. There's a specific thing that happens at that door, the 2 seconds where you could go either way. You could stay in the day, or you could actually come home. Most people have never made that a deliberate choice. It just happens to them. Morishio is the Japanese practice of placing salt at the threshold. What's out there stays out there. You cross the line and you're somewhere different, with different rules. The salt is symbolic. The act of drawing the line out loud with your body every single time is not. Pick your act. Put your keys down slowly. Take 3 breaths before you touch your phone. Change your shoes. It doesn't matter what it is. It just has to be yours, and it has to be every time. Until one day, you notice your shoulders dropping on the walk up to your front door, before you've even touched the handle. You're not tired. You crossed tired 2 hours ago. Now you're in the other thing, where you can't sleep, but you can't do anything real either. So you open the phone. Not because you want to, because the alternative is lying in the dark with Tuesday's conversation, and the thing you said, and the thing you should have said. That conversation waited all day, patient, knowing you'd be alone eventually. Here's the specific thing you do. You open the phone to check one thing. 14 minutes pass. You don't remember deciding to spend 14 minutes there. You put it down, feel vaguely worse than before you picked it up, and then pick it up again. The phone isn't keeping you awake. It's keeping you from having to sit with what's already there. You don't have a sleep problem. You have an unfinished day problem. Most people don't end their day. It just runs out, mid-scroll, mid-thought, until the body finally quits, and the nervous system, which never got the signal it was done, keeps running. That's why you wake up tired after 8 hours. Your body wasn't resting. It was idling. Niru Mai and Kodo, 2 practices, 1 idea. 1 consistent act of the threshold of sleep, chosen by you, not served to you. Your body learns to recognize it, and once it does, it starts releasing before you've even finished. Not a sleep hack, just what a closed day actually feels like. Right now, without changing anything, notice where you just breathed. Chest. Shoulders. You've been breathing like that all day, not because something is wrong right now, because your body never got the signal that the last thing was over. It's still graced, still ready, and you've been walking around inside that all day, without realizing it's the reason everything feels heavier than it should. You've told yourself you're fine today, maybe several times. Your body didn't believe it. Not because you were wrong, because you said it from up here, in the chest, in the shallow part. Your body doesn't take instructions from your thoughts. It takes instructions from your breath. Hara, breathing low from your belly. Not a technique, the most direct line you have to your own nervous system. Do it now. Hand on your belly, let it expand first. Belly before chest. 10 breaths all the way down. Notice what just happened. Your body did something your thinking couldn't do in 8 hours. That's not a trick. That's just what access actually feels like. You had a conversation last week that mattered, with someone you actually care about. You remember what you were thinking about while they were talking. It wasn't even important. It was something you needed to check, or something you'd already decided. Your face was doing the right thing, but you were somewhere else entirely. And the worst part isn't that it happened, it's that when they finished and looked at you, you said something that worked, and they couldn't tell. And you thought, good. And then immediately felt something you didn't have a word for. Ichigo Ichie. This moment, once. This exact person, this version of the conversation, this version of you, will never exist again. Not as something to appreciate, as a fact about time. You don't miss the big moments, you show up for those. What's disappearing is everything in between. And everything in between is most of your life. You know exactly what it is. It's not the cold shower. It's the conversation you've rewritten in your head 4 times but haven't had. The email sitting in drafts for 11 days. The thing you told yourself you'd start when you felt more ready. And you haven't felt more ready. And somewhere you know you won't, and you keep moving it to tomorrow anyway. Not because you can't do it, because starting it makes it real. And real things can fail. So you move it, again. And the day ends, and you're a little less sure of yourself than you were yesterday, but you can't name exactly why. Misogi is choosing one uncomfortable thing per day. Not as punishment, not as a challenge for social media. Just, you pick the thing your body is moving away from, and you go first, before the day builds momentum, before you find a reason. Here's what that quietly does over time. The next time something hard arrives uninvited, and it will this week, there's something in you that doesn't panic the same way. Not because you decided to be braver, because your body has a physical memory of walking towards something difficult and surviving it. You can't think your way to that. You have to do it enough times that the fear stops feeling like a stop sign. You already know what yours is. You don't need to name it here. Misogi is just this. Today, you go first. Right now, before you scroll to anything else, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, hand on your belly, let it expand first. 1 breath all the way down. Notice that. Your body just did something your thinking couldn't do in the last 8 hours. Tomorrow morning, the jaw will be tight before you've decided anything. The list will start before your feet hit the floor. That part doesn't change, and you're not going to do all 6 of these. You'll probably try one and forget it for a week. That's fine. That's exactly what this is. Not a system to complete. A different relationship with the days that are hard, which is most of them. There's a version of you that's slightly harder to break. Not because you became someone different, because you stopped spending every hard day starting from 0. The window, the movement, the threshold, the sentence, the breath, the moment you're actually in. That's the whole thing. It was always the whole thing. This is the Better Version Project. I'll see you in the next video.